Hello and welcome to my build video for the Befaco Mex, which is an expander for the Muxlicer. This is actually my second Mex build. I did my first one before I started making videos for YouTube. If you find this video useful, informative, or entertaining, please consider liking and subscribing. My videos are not sponsored. I buy these kits with my own money, so I'm free to give my honest feedback regarding the build and the module itself. The kit includes a card with a QR code to take you to the instructions online. It looks like paper instructions are no longer included with the kit. For the Mex, I'll just follow along with the online instructions, but for a bigger build with more components, I would print out the instructions so I could use them as a checklist. The Mex is a relatively simple build as the resistors and capacitors and whatnot are surface mount and are already on the PCB. There is no option to buy a kit where you add the surface mount components yourself. It is important to carefully inspect the PCB when you receive it, and I say this because my even VCO kit came with one of the surface mount components shorn off in shipping. So make sure everything looks right and there are no loose components in the bag with the PCB and panel. We start off with the pin headers. These pin headers will connect the Mex to either a Muxlicer or another Mex. You can daisy chain Mexes, Befaco says, as many as you want. I don't know if there is a limit to that eventually, but the way it works, there's two pin headers here. One goes either to the previous Mex or the source Muxlicer, and the other one is used to connect subsequent Mexes to it. So in this case, since I already have a Mex, I'll be daisy chaining this Mex to my existing one. I start out by soldering the corners of the pins, and then once I have the corners secured and I've checked to make sure they're both flush with the board, I go ahead and solder the rest of the pins. It is vitally important to make sure that the soldering iron does not hit any of the surface mount components that are already there. We definitely do not want to damage or desolder anything that's already on the board. And just like that, we're already moving on to front panel components. We're going to place the jacks, switches, and LEDs. We're not going to solder them yet. We're going to place them, put the panel on, tighten everything down, and then solder them. What's happening here is I'm using the wrench to tighten the nuts. Don't do this yet, just hand tighten everything, because what happened is I ended up lifting switches and output jacks out of the PCB. So I basically had to start over. I had to take the panel off, replace everything, put the panel back on, and then this time I just hand tighten everything so that it doesn't lift out of the board. Here I'm alternating the switches left, right, etc. to kind of create table legs so I can set this panel down, front side facing down, and have a flat surface to work on. It works okay. Now I'm going to solder the LEDs. I like to get these done first so I can clip these legs and get them out of the way. You'll see me check multiple times to make sure the LEDs are going into their hole on the front panel. Now I'm soldering the mini jacks and the switches. I want to reiterate again, it's very important not to touch any of the surface mount components with the iron. Now I'm tightening all the nuts. The wrench doesn't seem to fit around the sleeve nut for the second switch from the top. It's too big or wide or whatever. So I end up using my pliers to try and tighten it, and I realize in using the pliers that I'm actually kind of compressing that sleeve nut. So then I am able to fit the wrench around it. It's up to you if you want to put the rubber caps on the switches before or after testing the module. I was pretty confident, since I built one of these before, that'd be fine if I just went ahead and put the caps on now. I realized after placing the caps that I pushed them down a little bit too far and they were impeding the movement of the switches. So you'll see me pull each one up just a little bit, just enough to get the switches moving with their full range of motion from left to right. Now we're attaching the ribbon cable that connects this Mex to the previous Mex. There is no power cable for this. And right here I'm showing that the red stripe corresponds with the thick white line printed on the PCB. Since there's no power cable, I skip the continuity test and I go straight to making some tunes.